friends, welcome to Science with Savi. I hope every one of you is doing great at your places. So I'm back again with the last part of the topic which we started. We started up with respiration in organism. This chapter is there in class 10, lesson number 6, life processes. And also this chapter is there in class 7, lesson number 10, respiration in organisms. So we started up with the respiratory organs, we did the mechanism of breathing, and in today's class we will finish up the chapter by discussing the mechanism of breathing in other organisms. So let's start. So the first organism which we will discuss is cockroaches. The cockroaches come under insects and they have a very hard exoskeleton. So in case of cockroaches, they do not have lungs. So how do the breathing goes on? We will see this. The cockroaches have small holes on the side of the body and these are called the spiracles. Now these spiracles extend inside the body into tubules called the trachea. And these trachea further branch inside the body into tracheoles. So there is a network of tubes or tracheoles inside the body of the cockroaches which reaches to each and every cell and tissue of the organism. And this kind of respiration in case of cockroach is called the tracheal respiration. So what happens? The air reaches the body of the cockroach through these spiracles. On entering the spiracle, it goes through the trachea, then the tracheoles, and then it comes in contact with the cells. So in the cells, the oxygen is used up in the process of breaking down of food, and as a result, the carbon dioxide which is released, it is again comes through all these tracheals and comes out of the spiracles. That is, the exchange of gases takes place directly in the cells since they don't have the lungs. So this is the kind of respiration which goes on in case of cockroaches, and this kind of respiration is called the tracheal respiration. The next organism which we will discuss are the earthworms. The earthworms are very slimy creatures and the body is very moist, and there is a reason behind this. Because the earthworms respire through their skin. Yes, they respire through the skin, and this kind of respiration is called a cutaneous respiration. So they have thin network of capillaries beneath the skin, and the exchange of oxygen and carbon dioxide takes place through the skin by the process of diffusion. That is why the skin is always slimy, because of the secretion of mucus, and you find the earthworms always in wetlands and wet areas, in damp areas. So what happens? The capillaries which are there beneath the skin, they takes up the oxygen from the outside air by the process of diffusion, and they give out the carbon dioxide back to the air again by the process of diffusion. That is, exchange is taking place through the skin, and this kind of respiration is called the cutaneous respiration. The next animal which we will discuss are the fishes. The fishes are aquatic animals. They live in water and they take the oxygen which is dissolved in the water. Since the content of oxygen dissolved in water is less, so the rate of breathing in aquatic animal is always higher. Okay, it is always higher than the terrestrial animals. As we have learned from the lower classes that the fish respire and breathe through the gills. So we will see the mechanism in little bit of detail now with some pictures. Fishes have gills for exchange of gases with water located on the either side. In bony fishes, the gills are covered by a flap, and this flap is called the operculum. But in cartilaginous fishes, the operculum is absent and the gills are in the gill slits. So what happens? The fishes take up the water from the mouth and the water passes through the gills. Now these gills are richly supplied with blood. Okay, they have a lot of blood capillaries in them and they are richly supplied with the blood. That is why the gills look so red. Okay, so when the water which has entered the fish through the mouth passes through the gills, in the gills the exchange of oxygen and carbon dioxide takes place. That is, the oxygen which is there in the water is taken up by the gill, and the carbon dioxide which is there in the blood capillaries of the gills, they are given back to the water, and this carbon dioxide containing water comes out through the gills. This kind of respiration in case of fishes are known as the branchial respiration. Okay, so this is a mode of respiration in aquatic animals like fishes. That is, through the gills, the exchange of oxygen and carbon dioxide takes place in them. Now we will discuss how the respiration takes place in case of frogs, which are amphibians. That is, they can live both on land and they can live in the water too. So the frogs, when they live on the land, they respire by their lungs. The way we do, they use the lungs for respiration. But when they are in the water, they use the skin. They undergo cutaneous respiration. Their skin are also very thin and they are richly supplied with blood capillaries beneath them. And by the process of diffusion, the exchange of oxygen and carbon dioxide takes place in the frogs. So they can breathe by the lungs and also they can breathe by the skin. With this, we come to the last part, that is respiration in plants. Yes, plants also respire. Plants respire all the time because their cells also need energy for growth, for making the food. So it is a continuous process which goes on. Please don't get confused with photosynthesis. Photosynthesis is a completely different process in which the food is synthesized and which takes place only in the presence of sunlight. But respiration is a process which goes on all the time during the day and also at the time of night, and there are various parts of the plant which are involved in the process of respiration. So all these we will go step by. Each plant part respires through the external layer of cells. So in plants, the respiration takes place by the roots, by the stem and by the leaves. So let's see the leaves first. In leaves, the exchange of oxygen and carbon dioxide takes place through small pores which are called the stomata. These stomata are present on the underside of the leaves, and the opening and closing of the stomata is controlled by a pair of cells which are called the guard cells. Through this stomata, the exchange of oxygen and carbon dioxide takes place. Now let's come to the stem. Yes, the plants also respire through the stem. The woody stems are covered by a layer of suberin, which is impermeable to oxygen, carbon dioxide and water. That is, nothing can go and come out from it. But there are some places where there are some perforations or there are some holes through which the exchange of gases can take place, and these are called the lenticels. So lenticels are the small pores on the stem of the trees through which the exchange of oxygen and carbon dioxide takes place. So in this way, the stem also plays a very important role in respiration. Next come the roots. The roots respire with the help of root hairs. As we know that the root grows under the ground and it has branches or root hairs in them, and through the root hairs, the exchange of oxygen and carbon dioxide takes place. So with this, kids, we finish up the entire cellular respiration chapter. We studied what is cellular respiration, aerobic, anaerobic kind of respiration, then respiration in human beings. We also saw that how respiration and breathing takes place in other organisms like fishes, frogs, earthworms and cockroaches, and even in plants. So I just hope that by all the 4 videos, the entire chapter will be done. You don't need to look here and there. This Science with Savi becomes a one-stop destination for all the students who get everything here according to the syllabus. So thank you so much for all the love and encouragement which you are giving me, and I promise the sessions will be much better in the coming days. So with this, I'll take goodbye and coming back with the next very interesting topic very soon. Okay, so we will meet again. By the time, keep exploring, keep learning. Bye bye.